Real Estate Masters. Everything you need to know about real estate, from buying and selling a house and the latest in local development and community projects to investing in local, national, and international properties. And now, here are two people who know their way around all things real estate, Tamika Bryant and David Johnston.
Thank you for joining us on TV25's Real Estate Masters. I'm David Johnston, and my co-host this October season is Tamika Bryant, or Dr. Tamika Bryant, or as I like to call her today, Pussy Galore. Today we are at Arbor Lake Subdivision in Lenexa, Kansas. It's a new homes subdivision of Broad Rock, I believe, right, Tamika?
Yeah.
And we've had a couple visitors here. If you've watched some of the previous episodes, you probably noticed it's the same background, kind of. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about new homes construction, all kind of different topics, real estate news. While between segments, Tamika and I were talking a little bit that new homes sales and new homes construction is a lot different than the average residential resale. What are your kind of thoughts on the whole process, Tamika? I mean, what do agents and consumers probably need to know when looking at new home subdivisions?
Yeah, with a new home subdivision, and especially if you're looking at working on the side of a buyer, if we just take that side.
Yeah, let's talk about buyer's agency first.
If I'm a buyer's agent, I should be prepared that anything and everything can happen, because the structure may or may not have even been started. So if
Correct.
you are going from the beginning stages of just land, and then now you're helping someone get their dream home put in place, some of the first things that I see go crazy with the process is that expectations have not been set up front. So just to think that a person, a buyer, a family, some of their first thoughts are, this is going to be our dream home, it's going to have everything, it's going to be perfect. Well, you and I know there is nothing perfect.
That's
no
right.
Perfect house.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
It's like a spouse or a partner. You make the best that you can.
Yeah, and even with sitting down and creating all the plans, and no matter what you do or how much money you have, it'll never, ever be perfect. So I like to start out with just saying, hey.
A house is constructed by human hands.
That's right. That's right. And our thought process of the beginning stages of what we want and looking at floor plans, like I'm not a person that can just look at a floor plan and just go, okay, I can see that vision. Oh, no. I've got to have 3D pictures. I've got to see colors. I need to see how all this stuff works. So there is room for, okay, maybe I thought that door should be there and it should have been here.
But that's why I think most new home subdivisions now have gone back to having models. Of course, during our crisis, they didn't.
Yeah.
But now they have their models. I think it's important that buyer's agents always check or kind of know if they have a client that's going to be looking at new home subdivisions and they're going to send their clients out there without them. They need to check with the on-site agent kind of what their rules are as how they accept, if the buyer comes out by themselves, is the buyer's agent protected or not? I mean, that's where I've seen a lot of things go awry.
Right. So an example of that for our folks who may not have ever been to a new construction site, or maybe new agents who haven't represented, what does that look like? So if they go out and...
Sure, yeah, there's always the on-site agent, typically in the model home.
And who does that person represent?
They represent the builder and the developer typically,
Right.
So they're not looking out, they're fair and honest with the buyer's agent, but a lot of times they have an expectation that unless the buyer's agent's been out, it doesn't matter if you have an agency agreement or not, they're not compensating you.
Right. So, wow, that's a hard lesson to learn.
It is. After you've shown people 25 houses and then they go out wandering into a subdivision and 2 or 3 times on the weekend without you.
Right. So here's something I used to do with my buyers that may help some agents out there, is I equip all of my buyers with my business card and says, hey, I'm represented, and that kind of thing, so that they can show that when they sign in, or say before they sign in, say, hey, I have an agent, is it okay? Or get me right on the phone or text me and say, hey, it's Saturday or it's Sunday and I was walking around and saw the subdivision and it was open and I'd like to go see it. Or
yeah, and I think, on-site agents are usually really wonderful to work with, and I don't think any of them would ever have a problem if someone came in and said, hi, I'm Joe and I'm working with Tamika as my agent, can I look at your house?
Right.
you know, they're going to probably pick up the phone and say, hey, Tamika, FYI, your client's out here. And
Get your butt out.
Yeah. Don't make me fill out that paperwork, girl.
That's right. And that's when you're like, put on your stuff and you go.
But that brings up another interesting point is the new construction homework, unless you're selling a lot of it, it can be very unfamiliar
Right.
to a regular buyer's agent. I think of, you know, the first time I kind of got tripped up or had a trouble with, I'd never seen the clause in there before about extra excavation expenses.
Right.
So that the builder's only required to cover so much if they run into bedrock. And then anything else above and beyond that is usually
Right.
the
But
buyers.
That's what our code of ethics, right, that governs us as realtors talks about. You know, a part of that is that we need to be knowledgeable about whatever part of the real estate industry we're going to practice in.
Sure.
So new construction isn't any different. But also going back to what agents, how they could better get involved. Don't wait till the last minute to then find out about new construction. Now you're going to take a class because now you have a buyer.
It doesn't
no.
work that way, no.
If you know that's a part of your business and you work with buyers, chances are you will do a new construction or a new site build or something. So now is the time to kind of start doing that and learning about it, especially when we have so many builders out building like now.
Yeah.
And even going out to like the parade of homes to see what's
Sure.
going on.
You know, when I was working with buyers, one of the things that I would do is if I had a buyer interested in a new home subdivision, would always call the listing agent or the on-site agent and say, one, do you use the standard KCRAR new homes construction, or does the builder have their own contract? Because a lot of times they will.
Right.
And of course, they're weighted towards the builder. That's just, you know, kind of the way
That's
it
our
is.
business.
But if you have that in hand, at least you are prepared to go through it and kind of better explain it to your client.
Right. And I think between the side of purchase, you also have the side of finance.
Sure.
So agents need to be somewhat familiar of what those are. Do you have any tips for them?
Yeah, I mean, find out, you know, does the builder buy the lot? Does the builder want the buyer to buy the lot?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, how does the construction loan go? Do you want a single close loan?
Right.
Construction to perm, there's a whole, they need to get with their lender and find out that the lender will do.
Right. Because not all lenders do
not all
construction
lenders-
to perm or
Correct.
different types of loans. So that's another key area for agents to kind of know. And I think because we're in the business, we overlook those things because we're so used to kind of doing
We
it.
don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Pussy Galore and I are going to pick up our conversation when we get back in a few minutes. You've been watching TV 25's Real Estate Masters.